You've been hoarse, or even worse, you've lost your voice due to acid reflux. Now you are wondering how to heal vocal cords from acid reflux. Well, stay tuned because in this video, my guest, a performing artist and a vocal coach, Matilda Lindell, will share her journey to a healthy voice. Hi, I'm Katarina, speech-language pathologist, and here on this channel I share practical tips about using your voice in a healthy way. So, if this is a topic that interests you, consider subscribing to this channel and hitting that bell notification icon so that you don't miss any of my future videos. In this video, I want to introduce you to Matilda Lindell, who is an artist and a voice coach from Stockholm in Sweden. Aside from writing and performing her own original music, she has been part of several groups and bands throughout her career. One of them is the ABBA tribute act, ABBA the concert, which she has been touring the US with for over a decade. Matilda has a degree in vocal pedagogy and is a certified master trainer in Estelle voice training, and she coaches singers and voice teachers around the world. I had the privilege to work with Matilda in Estelle certification program. During our many conversations, she shared with me how she overcame a very severe case of acid reflux. With her never-ending curiosity, perseverance and positivity, she was able to discover a natural way of treating her acid reflux issues. Her story, I believe, is very encouraging, and today she's sharing her wisdom with us. If you want to stay in touch with her, click the link in the description below this video to get even more tips on how to maintain a healthy voice. Now, let's hear from Matilda. Okay, Matilda, tell us about your journey with acid reflux. Let's start at the very beginning. How did you find out that you have acid reflux, or how did you realize that you have acid reflux?
Well, in the beginning, it was more subtle than it then became when the problem magnified. But I had this sore throat that sort of didn't always develop into like a big cold or anything, and I got hoarse. So it like stopped there. It was like throat and hoarseness, and it was too often, and I got like, it's weird that I just get this sore throat and I feel this resistance in my voice, and then nothing happens. Like I didn't get sick or anything like that. And
So
after
you
a while,
didn't really have any obvious acid reflux symptoms like heartburn or belching?
I probably did a little bit, but I don't remember. It was nothing like extraordinary. It was mostly, maybe a little bit, not that much. I had problems with my stomach, getting bloated, and very burping and all kinds of stuff my whole life, really, but not to super extreme, so I did not connect the dots. And after a while, though, because this was when, well, it was, I'm sure, many years ago now, I went to the ENT and just like, maybe I have, I didn't know so much about it then. I was just like, I looked it up a little bit and was like, maybe this is acid reflux and it's affecting my voice. And I was, starting my career, and I was very like, I need to take care of my voice. And the ENT confirmed, yes, you have acid reflux. So that was nice to know what it was, because I sort of, it was scary getting hoarse over and over again.
Absolutely. And as a singer, I think you were in tune with your body, so you recognize that the soreness, throat soreness, feels different than when you get a cold or flu. So what did your doctor say? What did the ENT say? What was his suggestion?
So his suggestion was to take like antacid, like proton pump inhibitors, if that's what it's called in English.
Proton pump inhibitors, yes.
Yeah. And and I didn't know. So I was like, sure, I was like, anything to get my voice to work. So I tried that for a while, and initially it actually helped. I got some relief from that. So it was good in the beginning. Like I just tried to eat. He said, to watch my food. Like I try to avoid acidic food and fatty foods or anything that can make the sphincter lower esophageal sphincter like looser. I tried to do whatever I could. It didn't get better, and it got worse. And then I switched to a different medication. I got back and like, I don't feel it's helping. Something is like not right. So I switched, but I continue on that lane for a very long time.
That's a common comment from my viewers who say, oh, I've been on this drug, nothing is helping. What can I do? Tell us how it affected your voice. You were a singer, and I think at that time you were even touring. So
yes.
It must have been very scary not to have your voice, right?
It was very scary, and the hardest part was the more of when the medication only sort of masked the symptoms for me and then actually magnify the problem. So then from having like, a sore throat and some hoarseness and, feeling, kind of gunky in the morning, I got this heartburn and like I had I was choking, like someone was choking me. Like I wanted to swallow something down, but I couldn't. I had chest pain, like real chest pain. And I thought like, is this like, do I have so much anxiety? Is this my heart? What is going on? And I got nauseous, and when it got really bad, I couldn't even eat. When I ate, I was so afraid of getting acid reflux because now I could really feel the acid reflux. And I got nauseous, and I didn't understand why first. The acid reflux problem sort of made all these other issues with my body. I had mineral deficiency and iron deficiency and so many problems that, of course, also, so not only the acid reflux affected my voice at that time, all of these other things, like because you need your whole body and your health for the voice to work too.
You got into like a vicious cycle where you didn't eat properly, you were still taking the drugs, you got hoarseness, and then you were afraid to eat again, and it sort of rolled like a ball, I guess.
Yeah, it was a terrible spiral downward, and I didn't know how to get off the bad spiral. I was freaking out. I started losing my voice also so much more frequently. And I knew that I had good technique and I had a lot of experience, and so I was like, what am I doing wrong? I'm a vocal coach, I know what to do. So also I was touring, and I could tour for weeks at a time, and I didn't this band I'm touring a lot with still. It's an ABBA tribute band. I'm Swedish, so I sing a lot of ABBA music, among other things. And I don't really have, it's costumes, it's with the band, you have your co-singer. No, I can't just call in someone else, right? So the band is very dependent on me. So when I lost my voice and had to go on a 2-week tour or 3-week tour, I just had to go. And that was, of course, really, really scary because also you don't want to strain your voice. You don't want to be out there and sing. That, of course, magnified the stress as well, which is not good for acid reflux. So you're very right. It was just, yeah, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Okay, so obviously the traditional treatment didn't work for you. So now tell us, what you did differently? What did you start doing? And I know we've discussed this before. It wasn't just the diet. It was more than that. So if you can talk about that.
Yes. So, well, it was actually when I lost my voice, one time too much. So I rarely lost my voice when I was singing, but when I was talking and when it was bad, it could go like this. And I was like, this is enough. Something is wrong. This is not working. So I totally took a total pivot and researched whatever I could for a few days. I was obsessed with this. And deeper I went into this and discovering what was wrong and what had led to the next thing and the next thing and the next issue, I needed to take a step towards working on my digestion to fix things. That was like the core problem. The most common cause of what's causing acid reflux is too little stomach acid. But this has caused so many things that my blood pressure was super low. I had no iron. The doctor was like, how can you be standing up? You have like no iron in your blood. And and I couldn't digest my food. That was why I was so nauseous all the time when I ate. And because I had no stomach acid in my stomach, it was inviting all this bacterial overgrowth. So I had so many issues to solve. So it's just, I had to take one thing at a time. Wipe out the bacteria, try to raise my stomach acid and work on my digestion. It's so many components in that. And you need your minerals in your body to create the stomach acid, the HCl. It's so many components. So I really had to go, and I studied health a lot. And I got help from various places that I found useful. And slowly, it was hard in the beginning, but I totally stopped eating the medicine from that day. It can be harsh to just stop the medicine, but I was like done. I had a lot of acid reflux at first then, but it got better and I really worked my way up. And my blood pressure got up and my iron and my minerals. And at the same time also, of course, using my voice a lot to both make sure I took care of it and my body as good as I could. And we can also use the vibrations from the voice to actually trigger our nervous system to calm down and get more balance in our bodies. Mm-hmm. So I really try to work on all components, like the voice, but the mind and the body, the inner, functions, to get it all to work. It was a long journey. But
so,
yeah.
If I summarize it, you really covered your physiology in terms of your digestion, right? So you changed your diet, you changed your lifestyle, you used vocal technique to improve your vocal function. I feel like you really went all out and worked on everything, every little thing in your life.
Definitely. I used my voice also a lot to actually work on the mind, I think. Yeah, I had to work on the whole thing and the whole body.
How long did it take you? Can you tell us?
Well, I got better, much better within months, still working on things. But in the beginning, I would say the first 1 to 2 months was really, really difficult, because as I was starting to fix my digestion, when you have bacteria in your stomach and when I still felt the acid reflux. It was really hard, and it actually made it a little bit worse first. Mm-hmm. So it was a hard few months, but then I got so much better. And when I finally could digest my food a little bit better, of course, this took, I'm sure, a year before I could really do it like on my own and without thinking about every little thing I ate.
What is one thing that you would tell someone who is complaining about or who was diagnosed with acid reflux issues? What would be one piece of advice you would give them?
Well, I wish that I had known from the start the cause, the main cause. I was not aware. If I had known it was because of too little stomach acid, I would have done it so differently. But other than that, I would say don't give up. We can fix so many things in our body. We just need to know how to interpret it and feel it. And there's so much we can do with our food, with our mind, with our voice, for the whole body.
Amazing. You are a shining example of how to deal with acid reflux when the traditional methods don't work. So thank you very much for sharing your journey and your experiences with this problem. Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for staying until the end. If you found this video helpful, click the like button and share it with your friends who may benefit from this information. And check out Matilda's link and her latest ABBA cover with video. And check out my other videos on the topic of acid reflux. I hope to see you soon. Bye!